What exactly is going on? Your opinion?
But I would say that it is not just sometimes about the people who interview or the guests at these TV or stations or the minister themselves. It's also sometimes about the journalists. You see, if you look at the manner, the structure Rufai conducts himself, most cases, he blends accusation with inquiry. You know, the way you as a journalist, there's a difference between activism and journalism. So, such stance in journalism can make your guest hostile or you hostile or the whole room dramatic, and that's what you see that's happening. It's not just Umahi, in always the case. Most of the people you have seen, you see Rufai taking the position of the people, speaking from his heart and the frustration, personalizing the situation to himself, which is ought not to. And this makes him come out with anger, his passion for maybe the mood of the nation or the situation that people are complaining or whatever. He's supposed to have composed himself with an assertive demeanor and try to interrogate, not the kind of
now let's move away from the individual now, because Rufai was not the only person he reacted to. When the governor of Oyo State asked him, that to give public account of how he spent monies. Now, he responded to the governor by saying, okay, I'm trying to get his exact words now. He said, you show misunderstanding of how road project costing works, particularly with design variations, contingencies, and differential unit cost. He went ahead and mocked the governor's engineering background. Now, what the governor was also asking was basically the same thing, all right, that the television anchor asked. How much is it? How much have you spent? Now, let's focus on that. Why is it difficult to have that sort of information? Maybe the barrister will help us with what the law says in that regard. But what are your thoughts on this again, please?
Like I already said, the people deserve the leadership they get. And when you look at the whole system in Nigeria, there is a total departure from what will I say, the departure from some kind of conduct, public conduct by a lot of people. We see a long-time decay of character and attitude. Arrogance has become the order of the day. Otherwise, we won't be having the kind of political actions and activities we're having in the country, where everybody, elected public officer or appointed officer, sees himself as a demigod. That plays a part in what we're saying. It is not just about these people in office, although almost all Nigerians, when you look at a Nigerian with just little financial uplifting, he lives larger than life. It reflects on our daily lives in the markets, everywhere.
Okay.
So when you see that, I think we need a national reorientation. Let us not just...
Yes, national reorientation. Prince Nixon, I'd like to stay with you. Prince Nixon, don't Nigerians deserve the right to know the cost per kilometer of that Lagos-Calabar Express Highway?
Oh, why not? They do. They do. And that's why I said the blending of that question was otherwise. There is, as a journalist, the way you kind of put your assertion and conduct, the person will not have any choice but to answer the question. But when you create a kind of a dramatic atmosphere, you give the person to use maybe the violent attack to escape that questions and all that. When you look at Christiana Mampo and some of the international interviewers, the way they conduct themselves, they are so calm, they don't interject, they don't interrupt. At the end of the day, they will come back to the same question and kind of inquiry instead of attacking the guest. He's your guest, by the way. He has the right not to honor you. But if the person have decided to come to you to say, okay, I want to speak with you, right, so that people will get what it is.
There are different methods of questioning in presentation. If an individual chooses a particular style, that's his style. It doesn't make it wrong. But anyway, let's, I think you want to go with...
And then to ask you another question now, Prince Nix, when you're talking about the way the presenter asks a question, look at the beginning of that project. The whole story surrounding the Calabar-Lagos Coastal Highway. Isn't that dramatic enough for people now to have emotions riled up when they want to talk about it? From the bidding to the awarding of the contract, to the demolition processes that happen, the going back and forth again on the original principle and all that, to how much we've been allocated to construct that road, and even to the level at which the road has been completed up until this time. Let's say the commissioning of 30 kilometers instead of 47 kilometers, according to what the minister told Nigeria as a nation. Wouldn't that be enough for us to have, word up of emotion, we're asking questions regarding that particular project?
I have not challenged the nation's emotions or the mood. I'm only challenging the emotions of the journalists.
The journalist is also a Nigerian, if you ask.
Yeah, but being a Nigerian, you must be, first of all, professional in what you do. So there's difference between you and the general public. He must not take the position of the general public in interviewing. He should have gone about it by some way. You can give some facts about that and tell the minister to explain more on that. And you see the minister giving you such numbers or the indices you are looking for. That's where I'm coming from. So, but when you look at what happened with the coastal road, I don't think it has gone anything below or substandard in the standard practice or the best practices when it comes to construction. And that is what the minister was trying to explain somehow. And when you look at that, there is always a bill of quantity. We have FOI Act in place. The journalist himself could have done more investigative journalism by going to inquire officially, the cost per kilometer and how we arrive at the amount that is being everybody is talking about.
All right, then.
So these are the facts I felt that should have been done first before confronting the minister.
All right, thank you very much, Prince Nixon Okwara. Barrister Darlington, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, Moses, it's unfortunate that whenever anybody that has to do with APC is confronted with silent questions concerning his office, the next thing you hear is insult. And they are...
Barrister, is it an APC thing?
Yes, it is. No, seriously, it is. Go to the social media. Whenever you say something, all these their social media rats, they will come after you, call you all sorts of... In fact, some of them even said that Rufai should apologize and all that.
So, Barrister, the politicians in APC came from other parties. They merged at some point.
I have told you, they say by their fruits we shall know them. Are you getting what I'm saying? By their fruits we shall know them.
You don't think it's a Nigerian thing? That Nigerians get
it is common with APC.
Pompous.
Very, very aggressive. Very, very combatant. There is no humility in the way they approach governance in Nigeria. Go and check from their leaders to their supporters. Look, Moses, if David Umahi is as intelligent as he claims, because he claims he's a professor.
In practice,
in practice, yes. So because you are practice, they should give you professorship.
Can one be a professor in practice?
You heard what he said. Because you have been practicing, therefore, without even going to class, they should give you professorship.
No, he's not asking to be awarded the professorship. He's saying, look, he's well, I'm trying to explain. He's saying
no explanation will justify no explanation will justify that arrogance. No explanation will justify that arrogance. Simple question. How much?
Why do we have such attitude from political office holders?
I have told
and
you
what
here.
Can Nigerians
No, not all of them. It is common with APC. These are part of the things that make them what they are. I told you this.
At what point, according to the law, at what point does probing to get something become offensive?
It is not. Section 22 is there that tells you people, you are not even doing enough for seriously. In a Senate crime, this thing would have been an issue, election issue. All those projects, in fact, are you aware that they have removed that website where government expenditure is posted? Are you aware? They remove it. They have removed it as I talk to you now. That thing is no longer there. Go there now, you won't say anything. That will mean that corruption is now climbing higher and higher. How do you do that? Because somebody is telling me that Rufai should have done it. How can he get information when you have removed the source? How can he get it? Tell me. From the beginning of that project, was there any accountability? Moses, from the beginning of that project, is it not shrouded in corruption? Tell me. So how will Rufai get his information? From where? From who? The particular website where this thing should be posted so that everything can have you, they have removed it. You don't even know how they spend money and what they are spending it on. Meanwhile, Section 22 is saying you should make them to give accountable. So how can we now move forward? If Dave, like I told you, if David Umahi is as intelligent as he claimed, he would have wriggled out of that question.
Marisa, is it David Umahi's challenge at this point in time, or are we seeing some presence trying to still cover up some issues with that project? Recall that there was a media party that was organized here in Lagos, and David Umahi, a lady asked him a question about the compensation plans for the people who are living within the coastal areas and all that, and the woman was bundled out. It made the news. It was there also in the headline. Yeah. And now the youth in that state is saying that they are associating themselves from any call up for protest, that when he was there as a governor, that he also does not allow media to cover up anything, even accessing the government house. What does this really portend if we continue to walk in this particular trajectory? Because from the look of things, it's more like he's larger than life and no one should ask him question. And people or the person who appointed him there, made him to be a cabinet man, they are all mum at this point.
Because David Umahi is telling you here now that he is one of the number 5 star ministers or so. And so that position is a very high office. This same man is pursuing presidential ambition. And so he wants to do everything.
Interesting you brought us
to
this point,
his paymasters.
Because I was he did say that he's a works minister for Nigerians, and I think I would like
yes, that's what he said.
Prince Nixon to also respond. He said,
"Look, claim is for
the Southeast complaining that the president hasn't done anything for them, hasn't given appointments. That he being appointed, I mean, he's from the Southeast. He being appointed Minister of Works is like 4 portfolios in one. He's an A-grade minister. Is there any such thing as an A-grade?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's an A-grade minister, and Southeast senators should stop complaining because we have 4 in 1 in him alone, and then maybe a few others. What's your reaction to that?
Now, you see, Moses, please. Let us not celebrate mediocrity. I know these people very well. Whenever they want to embarrass the Southeast, they will choose the worst among us and give him one face that he will be dancing to their tune. That's what they do.
But do you agree that the Minister of Works has performed in some areas? In
which area? Which performance? Look at all the roads in Nigeria, not talk of Southeast. Let him mention that A-grade road he had consulted in the Southeast. Okay. Let him. What I'm saying in essence is that if David Umahi didn't want to play the politics of APC, he would have done one or two things. Look, yes, let's agree, due to the topography and all that of road construction, they cannot be equal in
terms of cost.
From this place to this place.
Okay.
To construct a kilometer of road.
Sorry. Before you go on, he mentioned a few roads that he's been working on, or this administration has been working on, and I would like Prince Nixon to either corroborate or debunk. Now he says Port Harcourt-Aba Road, which is 86 kilometers, Aba-Umuahia Road, 56 kilometers by 2, Umuahia-Lopanta Road, 6 kilometers, Lopanta-Enugu Road. Now these roads, he said, worth over 100 billion naira. He goes ahead to talk about the Enugu dualization to Abakaliki, the Trans-Sahara Road from Ebonyi to Benue boundary, which he put at 456 billion naira. And then he also talked about the Afigbo to Uturu and down to Okigwe, which is cutting through Ebonyi, Abia, and Imo for 193 billion naira. These are some roads. Do you think this isn't work being done? Barrister.
These things are on paper. In reality, none of them will be completed in the next 30 years. Moses, these things are on paper to look for your vote. in the next 30 years, none of this road will be complete. They won't even see the light of day.
Barrister, I also come from the Southeast. And some of the roads you mentioned, you are undergoing construction. But a lot of them that he mentioned also started, and even done 80% by Buhari administration. So I'm surprised that he's taking credit of all of that.
That's the game plan.
Now, Barrister, I wanted to ask you a question. Now, this whole issue of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway has been shrouded in secrecy. Anytime they ask questions, anytime Nigerians ask, they flare up. Exactly. We recall that at a point, National Assembly said we don't even know about
They
this.
should stop work until they do their verification.
And all of that.
They didn't.
Why is that? Why is that so?
That will tell you that is even what embarrasses me, that Nigerians are not even looking at the real issue. What that journalist did is a very really, because there is a lot of corruption on that road. To make matters worse, they gave it to their friends without bidding. To their friends, and their capacity in construction of that magnitude, we don't even know. Because you cannot take a project that has to do with a list construction company and leave it to even 10th class. You are looking for failure. These things are graded. A project of that magnitude, we should know. We should have at least references where you have done similar things all over the world that will now say, okay, yeah, you have the capacity. Nothing was done. They just carry it and give to their friend. And you are telling me we should not ask questions. Even though Umahi may not even know. They just told him, oh, you are going to supervise the construction. He may not even know. That's why he doesn't know what is going on there. He may not even know. Nobody in Nigeria can tell you today that he has the actual cost of that road, which will take over 15 years. 15 years. So tell me how this administration will not finish that project, Moses. Is it possible? Is it possible? You and I know the answer. We are talking of Lagos Ibadan that lasted almost 30 years. This one, it may take 15 years. Meanwhile, money is gone. They have collected money. They are paid for that place, and they will not finish the construction in the next 15 years. What does that tell you? I was thinking that it should have been a question of quantum merit. Wherever you have worked, we pay you. But yeah, they pay, in one first swoop.
Okay.
The 30 kilometers they have done already, I mean the 30% they have done already. We don't even know how much was paid.
30 kilometers. 30
kilometers they have done already.
And there was a video also showing that some of the road actually is caving in already.
Of course.
We yet to get anything about it.
Of course, because they did not even finish before they went to open it, just to show up. So what we're saying here that the secrecy of that place may not be known today. It is later. By that time, those who started this thing, they won't even be around for you to question them. They would have all gone. And they will start battling for what they did.
Okay, let's go back to Prince Nixon Okara. Now, some of the roads mentioned, are you corroborating? Are you debunking? What are your thoughts on those roads mentioned by Minister Umahi as roads being done under this administration and the APC government?
A lot of those roads he mentions are actually under construction. You see, one thing people must understand is that government process is not just like a private enterprise. There's always a process of a contract award, and when you need these facts, you can always get them. You can go to the Bureau for Public Procurement. It was not an act that was established by this administration. It was as far back as 2007. You get all the information you require. You can write even to the ministry itself. It is an open information, a very open information that we are looking at. One mistake Nigerians make at times is that we tend to dwell much on speculations. If a minister tells you, I have done this, I have done that, before we condemn, why don't we just do a little research? Like when you go to Lagos, I had someone mentioned Lagos Ibadan Expressway. It's almost 90% completed. Yes, the successive government did not complete that route, but somebody did it. And the same thing with this Sokoto Badagry Superhighway is under construction. Then Ibadan Ile-Ife, Ijesha or something, they're also under construction, and many more. So what the minister says, a lot of infrastructural development, reconstructions, and palliative going on all over the country by this administration. The money saved from this the subsidy savings and the rest of them has been kind of used in massive road construction. That's why you see almost everywhere is getting a facelift, and that's the fact. And when somebody just tried to say it will not be finished in 30 years, that is wrong. When you award contracts, there is time limit, there is duration, there are terms to this contract. And when you look at this government, is that implementing this process to the letter. The president is a policy person, somebody who believes in standard, and you can't get anything less than that from him. So,
okay, all right, Prince Nixon. Talking about process, the person that talked about the road not being completed, I think he is relying on experience. Personally, I witnessed the Lagos-Ibadan expressway undergoing construction when I came here to do youth service. That was in 1990, about 35 years ago. For the 35 years I know, that road has always been under construction. So when he says, now let me ask you, why is it that we have road construction that never ends? Has it got anything to do with the process that you talked about, or is it about political inefficiency, or is it about leadership failure? Which one will it be for you? Because you see roads like the Enugu-Port Harcourt road has been under construction forever.
okay, thank you for that question. You see, that's what, and one of the things I keep saying, most of these blames, though the president took responsibility, said, okay, I sit for the job, don't pity me. I'm taking blame for all the errors. These things were the errors of the past. The successive governments created these particular issues. But let me tell you something. We all will witness first time in history in Nigeria seeing all roads completed to 100%. All the road presidents Tinubu started, he will complete them. And I bet you in the next 1 year to 2 years, before 2027, this commissioning will take effect almost all over the country. And many people will find out that there's a new sheriff in town. It is not business as usual. I'm assuring you that. You see, when you look at the way the man is doing his things, most of the areas he walks in where they just fail to trade. He steps on toes. He does that people. That's why many people, you see the elite fighting him and trying to believe. If the masses know what the president is doing for them, they rally around him. And those people who are trying to pull him down, who were they the friends of Nigerians before? When you talk about these 30 years, you're talking about half of the 30 years by PDP. You're talking about half of the 30 years by all the actors now trying to fight the president. These are the people who caused us this pains. They are the people who constructed Lagos-Ibadan in perpetuity. They are the people who constructed that Port Harcourt on Onitsha Road, Enugu Road for donkey years, and it never ended.
All right, now, Prince Nixon, you just said something now. You said that Nigerians will experience something unheard of before now in Nigeria, that all the projects will be completed before 2027. Exactly. And that shows it's more like you have more information that we Nigerians does not have. So are you saying on this table that on this program, if these roads are not being completed, should we hold you responsible?
As a matter of fact,
are we to hold you responsible if the roads are not being completed before the 2027 elapse?
As a matter of fact, holding me responsible is maybe an understatement, but I'm trying to tell you here that the president I know will finish all that he has started before 2027, except the ones like the first phase of this Calabar Coastal Road. You need to go and look at the contractual terms. You know, all these things come with contractual terms. There are stages of all these jobs that he wants to do. Some of them will not finish in 2027. Some of them are bound to finish in his second tenure.
So we are still having an exception at this point in time?
Yeah, there has to be some exception, definitely. You can't tell me that the coastal road of 750 will be finished before 2027 from here, or the Sokoto-Badagry Expressway will be finished. No, that's not very possible.
That shows you're still making more like an illusion to say that some of all the roads, all the things we're having, construction going on now will still be the way they are.
No, it's not going to be the way they are. But what I'm trying to tell you is that all the jobs that are awarded in this quarter, all the contract will be executed 100%. There's not going to be like what you see during the days of the PDP in this country, where you see, have you seen any contract that's nothing done? Then you hear 50 billion.
APC as a party is also 12 years in office, just little a year before it to get up to 16 that we gave to PDP when they were there.
Yeah, but I would, or whenever I'm speaking about APC, I always want to exempt the previous administration from my speech. I'm not the kind of person that wants to paint party good because it's a party I belong to. But I always said it affirmatively that my confidence is built on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that's my political party in the first place, if we're talking, and not even the main APC we are talking about. For me, my own side of politics is just the politics of reality and what the Nigeria needs at this time.
All right. Sorry, Nixon, before we leave, I would like to ask you a question. Are you aware that the APC Minister of Work, the first APC Minister of Work, if I'm not mistaken, talking about Babatunde Raji Fashola, it's on record. He said that in the history of Nigerian governance, that as at that time, Goodluck Jonathan administration had constructed more kilometers of road than any other administration in the history of this country. Are you aware of that record?
As a matter of fact, he's entitled to his opinion.
No, it's not just his opinion, it's about fact, because he was the Minister of Works as at
That's
the
what
time
I'm
he
saying.
made that.
I think if it's what he said, I have not heard that.
Okay.
That's fine. He's still entitled to that as a minister, and I don't have his level assessment or the level of opinion or the experience or knowledge he has about that. But my concern is that beyond Jonathan, there was a Obasanjo regime, there was Yar'Adua, and there was under Obasanjo Atiku. He was there, and who held in charge of the commerce and wherever in Nigeria. He was in charge of the privatization, and there are so many things that were done during that. I call it the 16 locust years of PDP. And at the end of the day, some of these characters are the ones coming out to tell the only man who has confronted and done something they could not do for so many years, stabilizing our FX, attracting investors' confidence, stabilizing our oil sectors, trying to bring in public opinion, do new road construction that has never done. We have been, if you go and look at Nigerian contracts awarded over 20 years, what you see there, rehabilitation, there has not been a new road created anywhere. And this is very wrong for so many years of the country, how many years of democracy. We have not been able to build any new road.
Nixon Okwara, we are out of time for that conversation, and we must also take Barrister's closing remarks on this one, because I don't understand we have to let Barrister go. Barrister, go ahead, please.
Please, let me ask a question. Was it not under APC that 7.2 million businesses closed down and left town? I mean, they closed shop. For a government that came to improve on what the PDP did, businesses closed down completely and left town. They even went to Ghana and other places. Meanwhile, they are working. The economy is good. They have stabilized the currency. Look, there is a limit to telling lies, Mr. Moses. There is a limit to telling lies. Everything APC have done in office is just anti-people, negative. Seriously, we thought they would get better, but they are getting worse. And some people are here praising Tinubu for what he's doing to Nigerians. Can you imagine? What are those things he did that he's stepping on toes? Who told did he step on? He's even making it work. The people he released recently from prison, are they the Talakawas of Nigeria? What has this government got to do with drug pushers that he's releasing from detention? Those people, are they the poor people of Nigeria? How did that release help them? The real people that need to be released, Tinubu did not release them. I'm talking of awaiting trial inmates, who they don't dump inside prison without any record and all that. Instead of you to say, look, all these people that you have not taken to court for 2-3 years, or you let them go. You release people you know very well to be your friends and they go acolytes, and you are telling me it is for the poor. Make sure nothing Tinubu has done for the poor here. Mr. Moses, why is Nigeria getting poorer? By what dark standards under Tinubu? Can you tell me how? So please, I don't want to hear this type of praising. It doesn't add up. If they don't know what to do, let them take us back to PDP. We better stay there. It's better. You come here, destroy everything, and people are still praising you. You step on toes. Who told you step on? By turning Nigeria into a one-party state, Abi. Those are the things you are doing very well. You are using money to destroy all our institutions. Because no longer function. The National Assembly no longer function. They are all at your behest, and people are praising him.
Darlington Agomo, the public affairs commentator. Thank you very much for your time.